Hey guys, still there. Welcome back to Bear vs. Dragon, or Bear vs. Dragon, whichever you prefer. Before I start off episode 3, I wanted to cover episode 2. Episode 2, for some reason, I have no idea what changed, but as you have noticed probably, it did not get uploaded in full HD. I uploaded a total of 3 times, and every time YouTube just decided to render it in 360. Despite me being able to view it on 1080 on my own system, not changing any settings, and not really knowing what the problem was. I wanted to discuss a couple of comments because I thought a couple of you guys were being childish and entitled. There, I said it. One of the guys commented, "Rip my eyes." Really? Really? I understand that 360p isn't exactly ideal quality. I know it is far less than what you're used to. But rip my eyes? Seriously? Somebody else said, I can't watch it especially since I have a 4K graphics TV and it's 360p. Looks like it's using a potato. Okay. Somebody else says, oh god, this is pain. Get out of here. Seriously, I don't need comments like that. If that's the way that you're going to be, I recommend you unsubscribe. And this may sound harsh, but this is not the type of people that I want on this channel. Yes, 360p is not ideal, but it is not pain. And there was a day when we used to be normal with 360. DVDs were in 720, if you even know what a DVD is. And finally this comment, and this really struck me. Somebody said, oh lovely, 360p. If you did not change any setting, try to upload a shorter vid if it has the same problem, because I would like HD next episode. Now, I'm not sure if you know exactly how entitled that sounds, but this sounds like I'm some sort of employee for you. That's how I read that. Now, this is probably not what you meant, or at least I rather hope it is not what you meant, but be very aware of how exactly that comment came across and how it might be misinterpreted. Now, with that out of the way, let's continue on with episode 3, where I have taken over Vladivostok. In case you haven't seen episode 2 because it fucking hurt your eyes, this is episode 3 and I have taken Vladivostok using the Marine Group. Over in Dongning, I'm going up for round 2 against what is the surviving force from the tank battalion, an anti-tank battalion, and a small group of Motostrelki. They do have some air support, but no AA otherwise, as these guys died out before. So let's head over to Dongning and do this battle first. They have one command unit left. I'm expecting that thing to be an Echo, which means that they only have their 1250 starting points for deploying units and nothing else. So, considering that these things are 145 points apiece, they can only deploy a maximum of 8, and that's including a command unit, or rather, actually excluding a command unit. So I'm expecting a few tanks, maybe some Su-122s, but other than that, pretty much nothing. And thanks to me having captured Kirovsky, or starting out from Kirovsky, and having captured Bravo and Charlie, I have a pretty high cohesion, so a high income. And with that, I should be able to quickly field the units that I need. Now, they do have some aircraft, but as of yet, I have not seen these aircraft. So it's going to be interesting to see if the AI actually does decide to call them in this time. And hopefully they don't, because I'm not really looking for a fight against a couple of those jets. Those helicopters, while they do have some AA capability, but it is limited. These things only carry 4 missiles apiece. Now, let's deploy a command... What is that? 701? Command APC here. And an APC there. And an APC there. I want a couple of infantry guys inside this town. More as a sort of a tripwire defense than anything else. I want a reconnaissance unit here. I want another recon. Actually, let's go with an infantry recon here. I'm going to try and spot these guys from the side. I'm going to have a couple of tanks here waiting. You never know if they do decide to make some sort of maneuver with the surviving helicopters, or with the surviving tanks. As for the surviving helicopters, I don't have too many, but I fortunately have a couple of elite SA-342 HOTS, as well as a couple of CAIC Z-10s. So let's deploy these, and I might as well try to resupply them from someplace a little closer by, so I think Charlie would make a decent spot. Let's park a couple of cargoes in these trees, and see if I can get eyes on those targets down there. Not as of yet. Drop off. I wonder what they actually decided to deploy. These things, unfortunately, are only poor optics, so I'm going to have to rely on the spotting from these. There we go. T-90AMs do have Afghanets. Oh, they did deploy quite a few more. I hope that these guys are going to use most of that APS quickly, so that I can do some damage to these tanks. And really, only I need to kill the command unit, so I want you guys to hold fire. You guys to fall back, you to drop off, you to move out, and get these away. Okay, it looks like the AI just decided to cheat the hell out of this place. Because no way they had the capability of calling in this many units for such a budget. I don't believe that's possible. Anyway, let's find that command unit and end this quickly. Because I simply don't have the missiles to adequately engage all these targets. And I would rather appreciate it not to lose any more units here. Just hope the Lee Ren can spot them in time before I start to take any losses. Still no jets. That's a good sign. Let's send one of the Z-10s out to greet the Su-122s. Little Black Eagles there. Transports further back. Come on. Where's your command? Very good optics on these. Oh, shit. What are you? It's a BTR? That was not a BTR. That was a tank. Oh, fuck. They're blowing up cargo trucks. Oh! That went up nicely. Okay, let's get that BRDM-2U. He is sort of in cover. Yeah, let's wipe him out. Hold. I want no trick shots here, just as... Ah, really? Just a solid kill. 80% accuracy, and done. Okay, so that's then the battle groups here done. Took a little more losses there than I'd hoped. That was all the cargoes that this group had. That was a waste. At any rate, the aircraft are done, and I can now put new aircraft onto this airfield, providing immediate support for wherever the Marines decide to go. And I think I'm just going to chase these guys out of Bolshoi Cayman, because they really have nowhere else to go. If I chase them away... What sort of sector am I looking at? I'm expecting more Russians to come in from Nakotka. And since this is an open map, ATGMs would be handy. But neither of these groups really have any ATGMs on them. No. I might, however, be able to call in some additional forces to actually deploy ATGMs directly out there. Or... Oh, what's this? The Ryu Goyeng Su Task Force. Tank Battalion. Oh, you have to be kidding me. I'm paying 10 points to get T-34-85s? No. What's this air assault? Gyeokgyeokdae, couple of Anhur and an MI8 gunship. Oh joy. Shock Regiment. See, now we're getting somewhere. T-80 UNK with Igla missiles, although they only carry 2. It's a small sort of self-defense missile. Chonma 90s and Chonma 214s. Anti-air company, no. And an artillery company. Tochka, a couple of long-range HE lobbing weapons and cluster weapons. As for this group, this is one that I want to call in, but I cannot afford it just yet. They're 25 points. The infantry battalion is not that good. Understatement. Like really shitty. I'm only paying 10 points for them, fortunately. As for the infantry regiment here, I believe that some of these guys have AGGMs. Yeah, like that. Top attacking, fire and forgets. These guys are 15 points. And I cannot call them in through the port. Ah, crap. I'm going to have to call them in from the airport. So that means they're going to start here, move there, there, and then finally onto another location. Can I even call in anything at that port that I captured? Yeah. Those crappy infantry units. Okay. I'm going to call on the 17 air assault, mostly because they are very flexible units, which come without any initiative. That's interesting. What do we have here? Rifle battalion with Afghansky and BTR 80, and a couple of T-95s, T-72 B3s, and Cornets. What sort of map is that? Okay, so I would come in from Vladivostok, and I would be greeted out in the open by a ton of tanks. Yeah, I'm not going to do that just yet. I want to try and get them to me, because if they do so, if they come at me, they're going to be coming in from here, which means I can ambush them inside that town. Until that happens, I want these guys on R&R. And let's see, do we need to send the ships anywhere? I would like to refit them, but I don't have the points for that. What can I do with these? At the moment, we're just going to keep them here. Put them under R&R. And these aircraft are suddenly quite useless. Well, these at least can be reassigned to this airport. But these, not so much. They can move to the naval sectors, and that's about it. Alright, so you're parking here. And we're going to end the turn. Let's see what the Russians decide to do. If anything. They might just hold on to that sector. Yeah, they're not doing anything. Okay. It's time to start relocating these units. It's going to take a little while for the tanks to get here, but I might as well try. I can go for Kirovsky. Could I fly in infantry to that port? Sorry, to that airport. Does that work? Yes, it does. What sort of map is that? Wide open. I'm expecting guys from Luchigorsk. Mostly. There. So if they're starting here, they can have a town, they can have a forest. I can defend from this sector, I can defend from that sector. If they are going to come in, there's a fairly good chance I'm going to be needing ATGMs. I don't know if a tank regiment over there is really required. I think I can make better use of those elsewhere. Although I could call them in here and start them moving south. But first I want to plug this line of entry. And who are we going to use? Oh, this is an anti-tank group. A couple of tank snipers, top attacking, fire and forget HGMs. Price, 10 points. That's one. Do you have recon? Yeah, they have a couple of recon, which also have a really good gun on them. So you just need a command unit of some sort. Not just one command unit, thank you very much. infantry regiment. Yeah, I'll use these. So next turn I can move up with the attack helicopter group and try to move on to another airport. In the meanwhile, I think I don't really need to defend this place too much. So we can start sending back the units that I had over there. As for pushing, I'm not too sure where to go, but I can at least use the air assault group to go for this sector here, which is going to be a no-show, because they're going to relocate. They don't have a command unit. So they're fleeing back towards Kavalerovo, which is the final sector that I need to capture. What do I want to do with these? Again, not really anything. I need to wait for these tanks to arrive. And I need to have the other tank group come in from the north, so hopefully we can squash them between us. If I can come in from Bolshoi Kamenn and Spassk Dolny and Vladivostok at the same time, I can ensure that these guys have nowhere to go and have especially no reinforcement route. The ships, again, not really too much to do, so we're going to refit. Or R&R, actually. You guys... You can actually scare them off a little more. And we can get some eyes on what's going on in Kavalerovo. Which is Mostrelki, Boryusa, Sosna. So it's not going to be easy to get the air group in there. Plamia. They don't have any heavy armor though. I'm not sure if I can take those on exactly with this group. I don't think so. I would come probably from Delta. There's not a lot of cover there for infantry, so not yet. As for these, I want to have one group on the side here. Does it matter? It doesn't really matter. Okay, end the turn. Do the Russians have any plans? The enemy started disembarking units and logistical resources in Kavalerovo. We did not expect them to react so quickly. Well, that is unfortunate, isn't it? Oh, and we have a helicopter group here. A couple of Spetsnaz coming from an Mi-8. And they have 6 Mi-24 VN with a Kokon M, as well as rocket pods. Now, what did they disembark here? Tanks. Oh. Not too many... Damn it. Not too many high-value tanks. But these guys with a 19-point AP could still cause problems. Oh, and they have some Akatsias and Sturms. Again, Sturm at 17 or 20 AP is not terrible. But it's not something I would really like to encounter anytime soon. Now, let's try and hit Userisk, I think, from 3 different sides. We're going to come in from there, there, and north, and try to hit these guys over here very, very hard, so that they do not have anywhere to go. What I can expect as an opposing force is 24 tanks, which do have an APS on them, 6 charges each, as well as a bunch of infantry, but the Motostrelki themselves are not too dangerous. The Afghanskis are an annoyance, but they do not have the AA capability to go after my helicopters. So, let's see, what happens if I hit them from over here? What does that do? That gives me Spassk Dolny. Now we're going to sandwich them. And now let's see what happens. Userisk. Mine, mine, and mine. They have Echo and Bravo, so this is going according to plan. I just need to hold on to these sectors, and it shouldn't be too much of an issue, because they only have 1 command unit. Kill that, I win. This could be a very short campaign. Now, I unfortunately do not have a FOB, and very little supplies to resupply my helicopters. So whatever I use is going to have to be coming in from, or whatever AGGMs I use are going to have to come in from the Byongay over here. And the Korsuns do have an ATGM, but it's pretty terrible. Now, let's start setting up ATGM groups. And these guys are a 10-man elite squad. So they should be able to hold out for at least a little while. I'm going to go for this town over here. Let's go with a quad stack. And a couple of standard Jugokte slightly further behind. Command Helo over here. And we have a command unit for this sector. And a command unit for this sector. Now, as for defending on this side, I'm not really sure where I can expect them. So I'm going to set up another couple of ATGM groups here. And as for my helicopters, I'm going to have a sort of quick response force on every end. Since these guys do not have too much AA available, I think that the Z-10 with their HJ-9s should be able to take out at least some threats. And considering that these are all reinforcement zones, I can always call them in whenever I need them, in tandem with the Z-5As with the rocket pods. Helicopter there, and one over here somewhere. Now, as for reconnaissance, I don't have too many options, unfortunately. One here. One here. I also want a couple of ATGM groups here, actually. And another one over here. Let's go. Drop off. I need eyes on these guys as quickly as possible and know what they're planning. They secured Echo. This is a elite sniper team. So these guys cannot be detected unless they really want to be. Drop off, and get the transports away. As for these, let's move them away. Let's drop these off. Have at least some ATGMs ready to go. All I know is that they started somewhere in Echo. And now the question is, where are they going to go and what did they decide to bring in? Just hope they don't come thundering down this road or my infantry recon is dead. You guys can move up, you can get into the building, and the BTR can move back. So if you had one command unit, where would you go? Let's go hunting. These guys... Oh, hello. Tanks. More tanks. Looks like I might need a couple of... What happened to one of my HOTS? Shit, they got the recon. Well, good thing I got the Byonghae over here. These guys have top attacking missiles. Splash 1. Ah, they neutralized it. Interesting. So they're definitely coming in from this end. They have a CV somewhere over there or there. Want the HOTS ready? I want you to move here. And we're just going to push some infantry right through those woods. Let's go single file, actually. At any rate, they decided not to stick around. Apparently they decided that a short stay was enough. Boom. They didn't neutralize the sector for very long. Wonder why. I also wonder what happened to one of my HOTS. I don't believe I actually lost one last round, but I must have not seen that. Now, let's speed this up a little. See where exactly these groups are. I also wonder if they were able to deploy some more units. I didn't really look at how many points they... Oh, they got Echo. Okay. I didn't really look at how many points they had to deploy. So I'm not sure exactly how many units they have deployed before the match started. Now, if they did come in from over there, they moved here, they decided it was not safe, they moved back. The AI might have been hiding it there or there. Those are the locations I need to scout out. Let's get these to move, and these to move. These guys already whacked a tank, and so did you. These cautions to... Oh. What happened? Oh, they've been destroyed. Yeah. I guess they decided to retreat, but couldn't. That means that this airport's now secure, and I can now call in additional units from over here. Which is ideal, because that means I can now call in that tank group. That one. Not from over there. For some reason. Okay, so we're gonna have to call in from Dongning and start to make our way here. Fair enough. I'm not sure how fast those helicopters are going to be here. I think they first have to go through here, which is a group that unfortunately has 0 AA on them. The J-10s do have some short-range air-to-air, and that's the only option I have. So for the moment I'm just going to have to stick around and hope that they don't actually engage me. What they're trying here is one Verba group and artillery, so you can merrily head back to where you came from, which is Cavalerovo. Okay, anybody else? You guys are holding. If you haven't already, go for R&R. Ships. I still haven't refitted these because my income is not good enough. I should have an additional 5 next round. Let's see what those helos do. Yeah, I know. Oh, they couldn't engage. They could call them in, but they couldn't engage. That's perfect, because now the AMRADs can easily cut through them. But we do have some other contenders coming in. Armata, PT-90, and T-72B3. Again, not too many high values. Very small meat shield here. But mostly units I can handle. First, these. The helicopters. They are starting in Charlie. Sorry, they're starting in Bravo and in Luchegorsk. Yeah, sorry, of course, that's where they came in from. They have a total of 18 helicopters, not counting their logistics units. They have 4 cohesion. I'm expecting these helicopters to come in hot. Even if they do, they only have a range of 2765. My MRADs have a range against helicopters of 3,850 meters. So I don't really foresee any actual trouble here. Let's deploy those AA guns quite liberally. Make sure we have some AA cover everywhere. I didn't see any seed units, so I'm not really expecting anything in return to be a threat to these AA units. One here. I want one here in case they somehow manage to flank him. Go for the building. Again, we have no AA infantry, as far as I know. No, nothing. So I don't really need to resupply the AA infantry, because those guys usually run out pretty quick, especially if you're dealing with a helicopter group. I'm expecting this to be the hotbed of activity. I'm expecting them to spawn in from pretty much all over there. And since the AMRADs can deal with both air targets and ground targets, I'm not really expecting any trouble. Just to make sure that actually happens, or doesn't happen, I want a couple of reconnaissance units here, here, and here, to make sure that any infantry unit that manages to somehow disembark gets spotted and then wasted by the AMRADs. Okay, that should do. Now we wait. Captured and captured. There are a couple of MI8s. Yeah, they're taken off. Amrad destroyed. Ah, they're coming in from this side, pretty close range. And wasting a couple of my AA units. These guys have a def tag? They don't. There's another one. Lost another Amrad, but whatever. There's another MI8. Should have deployed some more units to actually go on offense there, instead of just holding. Let's head over. Bring your recon unit. As for these, they have an autocannon on them. But against helicopters, it's limited in range, 1750. That struck, but didn't kill. Let's move up a little. What do I want for the infantry? Who do I like to train? Nice one. Might as well be a couple of cheap ZSD-90s. Yeah, like hell you are. Those MI8s definitely do their damage. I need to keep them at range. I'm getting too close to them. These guys do have a bit of armor on them, but not really enough to sustain a rocket blast for a longer period of time. These things even Chinese? No, they're Polish. Okay, let's go around that town and move up to Bravo to cut off their income and then cut off the resupply line. Yeah, these guys just got called in, I think. I want these Amrads out of the woods and in an open area where they can easily spot any aircraft target and neutralize it. You're elite, I want you to fall back. We'll send out some cargos to meet you back there. Go over here. As for these, it looks like the command helicopter got a bit nervous as my units were getting closer, so it seems like they slowly shifted it and then somehow put it back down. That's what I'm thinking happened. At least I will not be able to call in any additional gunships. Or at least not easily. So far, I find the Russians to be a bit of a pushover this campaign. The only time they really gave me a challenge was when they started with that bunch of tanks that came at my ZTZ-99As. But I imagine you might not have seen that, since it was in Oh Fuck It Hurts My Eyes episode 2. They're shifting in Bravo. We're looking at command infantry, maybe. Is that why I'm not able to find anything? Because a command helicopter generally would have been spotted by now, unless these things also have medium stealth. Not sure about that. Hello! Look at the range. That was only 3100. These things can attack at 3800. That is... Hello, you are a command tank. This is 3200. And this is not very accurate. Although one shot should promote him, provided that he hits. Go for it. Boom. Hardened. Moving up. You guys, we're going to charge directly for that sector. Hoping that I'm not going to actually run into any gunships at short range. Oh, it looks like we have a couple of MI8s taking off. That must be Spetsnaz. Wasted one. And I think they're hovering too low at this point for me to be able to detect them. There they are. Couple of hits, that's one down. You guys charge in through this line. I want you to charge in through that town. Get the recon tank to support. He's sort of dropping in and out of detection. He's definitely dropping out of detection. And he's dead. So, command helicopter, potentially in the back. If the AI follows the usual keep your CV in the back rules. This one pretty much was, although it was parked out in the open. Let's get the AA a little closer, making sure that we don't have any helicopters escaping from here. Apparently, Spetsnaz has not been deployed anywhere. There we go. Seize maneuvers and go sheerly for damage. One down. Move up a little. Move up. He got one shot off. Stick to the open ground. There he is. Yep, this Amrad has a shot. Almost 3,400 meters. Oh, is that it? That's it. You're done. Okay, so that took care of the Spetsnaz group. Very good. Now refit these. And move up that tank group. I expect that was their fast... Oh, they actually survived? I expect that was their fast maneuvers group. The rest of them are just going to have to go through this line. Which means, again, starting in from Luchigorsk, and ATGMs will be here and here to greet them as they're coming in. And considering they're not a helicopter group, they cannot capture any additional sectors. At least, not cheaply. Now, what sort of air force do I have? These are pure fighters and a couple of anti-ground. Do these have AA with them? No. No. J-10, these are top attack cluster munitions. Snowy Owls are ATGMs. Yeah, might as well keep them here. Give him some fun. I want the multi-role squadron to move up 1 or 2 ticks. Assign and refit. And these, I can capture Spask Dolny, but it doesn't really get me anything. This is the helicopter group. I want you guys to be refit, full strength. Let's start moving up. We're going to head into that next sector, where the Air Sword Battalion is going to hold off for now. And we have the attack helicopter group. I want you guys on R&R first, because it's going to take these a little while to come in anyway. Okay, with 5 points I cannot do anything, I think. Nope, nothing. End the turn. They're coming in again. What did they bring in Kirovsky? Ah, the tanks. The tanks and the infantry. Pretty much as expected. Now, as mentioned, these guys don't have any AA, but they do have ATGM repellents, the Afghanids, the APS on them. Can I call in anything that might help or provide any sort of additional assistance? Because I have confidence in my Longdui. I have 2 FOBs to resupply them. But if I can give them an extra edge, then I will happily provide that. Not an artillery company, not an infantry group, and these can only be deployed in the port. So the only other option I have is the Air Force. That would mean the cluster bombers. No, that's... Well, those could be handy against the infantry. What do you have? Oh, so I did call them in. These guys are top attack, or not top attack, but just HE laser guided. These are cluster bombs. And these are the IL-102 NK version. Can I call in anything else? More IL-102s NK. I already have a good number in this group, so I don't think that's going to be necessary. And a couple of seed aircraft. Alright, Kirovsky. Now, they have a good number of infantry. They do not, however, have a lot of income. They have 2 and 4 from cohesion. They can deploy 1550 points, which can buy them a lot of infantry if they really want to. Or they can decide to go on a splurge and buy a lot of tanks. My plan here is to quickly deploy HGMs along the lines as previously explained, back those up with additional infantry. Maybe I can use those commando mortars, especially if they have FOBs nearby. They should be able to keep firing for a long time. Spot them with reconnaissance units and bomb them using both the IL-1 and 2 NKs to at least slow them down. And from there, in a weakened position, I should be able to take these guys out with AGMs and then deal with the infantry. The Monostroki come with an ancient BMP-1M, although they do have an upgraded missile. Concours come in the Boomerang, and the Verba, so a smaller AA group, also come in the Boomerang. Let's go. Now, capture every sector. That's a key. This is pretty much going to be a fallback line. These bridges here. I'm expecting contact at or in this town very soon. And the same is pretty much true here. So when I have a FOB slightly closer and a couple of trucks as a go-between. Next. Oh, hang on. I got both Longdui, Tank Shushu, which have a really good anti-tank capability, but they're pretty vulnerable, and Hongjiayin. These guys have a better range, better AP power, but they're not as durable as the Longdui. So these guys are going to have to be deployed first, preferably in multiple groups. We have 3 structures that I can use here. And they are pretty expensive. Alright, I'm expecting short-range contacts here. So that's going to be something that the tank Shu should be able to handle. At least for a little while. Oh Jesus, I cannot deploy anything else? Ew. New deal. Deploy the command unit here. Come on. Deploy him there. I'm going to have to deploy another command unit. Just to get a few more points of income. And I know that this one has a pretty good chance of dying out very soon. We're going to go with 8 of these. And I'm going to need some infantry as well. I think that these are Hongjiayin, yes? Yeah. We're going to have to defeat some sort of infantry up there pretty soon. I'm going to need a reconnaissance here. Well, yeah, this is probably the better position because I'm expecting immediate contact over there. Alright, drop them off. Holy bananas, there's a lot of units down there. I don't expect these to survive for very long at all. There's a T-14 Armata command tank. I have a good number of vehicles coming up this road. Some with an APS, but they already lost one of their T-14 Armatas. See, those things with an APS, they can take some missiles, but not this many. And that's exactly what I was banking on. I'm going to hold these transports back, because with that autocannon I still have a decent bit of firepower. Alright, I'm going to lose that command unit if I don't move it. Deploy a couple of Hongjiayin here. Get the vehicle away. They're losing a lot of infantry here. Can you guys go for the command tank if I move position? Because your range should allow you to do that. Just need a spotter. There's your spotter. These are fire and forget, no? No, they're not. APS. Hit. Command tank dead. A couple more targets, but they're out of range. Alright, let's get the infantry to move up. I didn't actually lose any infantry here. That is really good news. They were able to deal all of their damage before the enemies were able to push. Now let's get another reconnaissance unit here. Making sure I have optics before they come in. Autocannon vehicles move up this way. And I still have my air support, which I haven't used. I think it's time to call one in as soon as I can afford it. These are amphibious, but I'm not sure if I can afford that. Oh, ow. That was not very good. Lost 2 Hongjian immediately. Capture that sector. Get the vehicle away, if possible. Fuck, they're going for my next command unit. Just a bunch of boomerangs, but still. If I can prevent that, I would really like that. Snowy Owl, try to snipe these. These transports, I want a couple of them to go back and deal with the boomerang. I hope the Snowy Owl can deal some damage here. One down. That was a lot of missiles for one target. These fire and forgets? Yes, they are. And we lost line of sight. Another Snowy Owl to snipe this Armata. Come on, buddy. Make it quick. Boom. Very nice. Circle the block and get ready to deal damage. Move up here. I want a couple of command mortar units to move this way. There's that boomerang. Wiped out one transport and I got my kill plus 20 unit or 20 points. So they must have lost some. The infantry side is down. Alright, time to push back. Recon unit moving forward. Long we could use a small resupply. These trucks are going to be empty in no time. Okay. Yeah, they captured that fob. I'm going to try and capture that back. But I'm not getting my hopes up. Especially considering that they are now coming in with what seems to be another tank. If I can send another Snowy Owl forward, I might be able to salvage this. But I think they already whacked the transport for that command unit, so there's not really any chance that that thing was able to survive. One APS hits, and the others do not. Jalo coming in. Cargoes are empty, move back. Oh, snap. These are top attack heavy miss or heavy bombs, so AP. This might be a little bit too much firepower to send in. These guys still have no missiles. Yeah, goodbye command unit. Oh, hello. Can you spot that again? Because I see a beautiful target for a cluster bomb. Go back. Activate your smoothbore. There. And I want another charge dropped on top of them because I'm not confirmed that I'm going to be able to get them with one cluster bomb. You what? You wasted the HGM infantry? You impress me. Okay, good damage, good damage. Oh, wow. I had a few more that I hadn't even seen. Very nice. Alright, let's see if we can recapture this position. This command tank's gonna have to be a bit, or recon tank's gonna have to be a bit careful. I would like another Snowy Owl on standby. Just because you never know exactly what you're going to be dealing with. HGM misses. Jalo tries to return fire. And doesn't quite get the shot off. Now it's the boomerang's turn. Oh dear. Returning fire. That's missing everything. That's the Hongjian. Interesting. I'd expected them to hit at least something. Could you just shoot something? Instead of driving in like a madman and waiting for an autocannon to kick your ass? No. Okay, cool. Come on. You have a smooth... You don't have to ram them. I'm a tank, so I'm going to destroy an oil rig. Sure. Yeah, there's the vehicle. And, what are you doing? Welcome to World of Tanks. Wargame style. Oh my god. Dude. Look! Target! What the fuck was that? Seriously. That was some weird shit. Okay. Let's move up the HGMs a little. Maybe the ZTQ can already spot any sort of command vehicle that they have. Let's have a Snowy Owl standing by. 'Cause I know they have no AA. You guys, I'm sorry, but you're gonna have to walk. So transport's died. Let's get an IL-102 standing by. These things have a time of a target of only 75 seconds, so I'm not gonna have to rely on these much. They're not very dependable. Yeah, that works. Target? What did you fire at? Something that has an APS down there. Uh-huh. Something of the T-14 Armata variety. And something else kicked in here? Yep, definitely. Move away, move away. Longjane have no line of sight. Snowy Owl snipes a 14-point vehicle. Cluster bombs out. Let's get another Snowy Owl in. Lots of targets here. What's all that? Are they again using this as some sort of staging ground? For... infantry? Maybe? Fuck. Tanks coming in, I think. Alright, fuck it. Send in the IL-102, bomb everything. Snowy Owls. If it's a vehicle, shoot it. It's another Armata. There's another Armata. It's a boomerang. You're out of missiles. You're excused. Oh! Okay. We have another T-14M incoming. That's your target right now. These things have an APS, but not too much. There's another boomerang. Let's resupply these. We're out of missiles. A couple of good kills there. That's another Armata. Maybe not even their last one. Hang on. What happened here? Did they lose Luchagorsk to capture Charlie? Splash. What is happening here? That was weird. How did that boomerang disappear? We're out of missiles. Splash. T-14 Armata. Time to fall back a bit. Fortunately, all the Snowy Owls are on resupply. So I can hope that these guys can resupply them in time, or there's going to be one short fight. Missiles out. That's my fob, thank you very much. I'll take that off your hands. Come on. Got another one. There's the Armata. Not sure what he's going to be... nothing much. Doing. What is that? There's my fob. Can we hit that with a commando mortar? A Jalo? Does that do enough damage? Well, they're definitely trying. No. Doesn't really do much, unfortunately. Same cannot be said for the damage output of the Jalos themselves. Which, against my Ji Dan Bing, is unfortunately quite high. This should wipe out one of them. Yep. Let's get these in. The concours coming in. I'm seriously thinking they either don't want Luchagorsk or don't have any CVs left. Because they seem obsessed with maneuvering this way. But then again, not bringing in actually any units. Go back. We have no missiles on these. Pretty much all of these are elite. Oh, you guys... What are you doing? Exactly. Go. That building. From over there you can see a decent portion of the map. The snowy owl circling. Just need a bit more reconnaissance here. That's a BMP. Hit it. Oh, there's something else there. Something like that, which is an APS. Hold. Please don't die. I could spot it with these. They might get a shot off. But again, it's only HE that I'm doing. So I'm going to first try and wound it with a couple of clusters and then see what else pops up. Bingo. 195 point unit. That was a command tank. Alright. Let's retake the previous position here. And we're going to have to move the command... No, the recon units up. You, and you. Here. Verba. What are you planning on? Oh, there's another tank here. In that case, you might have to stick a little further away. You're going to drop another couple of cluster bombs on top. Just to see what breaks loose. What are you? That could be another command tank. I'm again going to get the Snowy Owl's permission to fire at everything. And we'll just see what gets killed. Something with APS, that's for sure. Hold. Ooh, 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 ooh. Don't risk it. Get you guys alive. If they are, in fact, heavy command tanks, then I'm gonna have to be very careful. Yeah, they did get one. Machine getting resupplied. What is that? T-73 or T-72B3? Well, you're never going to survive that. But it seems like these tanks don't even know from where they're taking fire. Hold. See if we can overwhelm one. Sort of. Got one. Who needs a promotion? Doesn't really matter. Hold. Weapon jammed. You're out of missiles. Leave. This is your kill. Go. Splash. Good. Ah, there you are. Hello, beautiful. Time to end this. I'm not sure if they're going to flee, or if this battle group turns out to be destroyed. That remains to be seen. Now, I hope that the missiles can hit this one. They are fire and forget. No, they hit something else. They did hit the tank, though. But with limited effect. You're bingo. You still have one missile on you. Jalo. Transport. Fuck. These things are not survivable. Let's hit him with the cluster bomber. Bring in some more infantry here. Why is the Snowy Owl not firing? He dropped. I wonder how much that's going to kill, because it does look like a nicely condensed group. Oh, maybe, yeah, a couple. As well as the tanks, that's really nice. Makes my life a lot easier. Hold off on the L102. You're out. Get out. Boomerang. If you want to kill this, now would be a really good time before you get hit by an ATGM. Which is something that you cannot survive. Well done. I think that was the commando mortar. Probably. The hell? So those must be the mortars that were promised. Shit. We have no snowy owls ready. Uh-oh. Kiss your recon goodbye. We're gonna need some ATGM vehicles here. Maybe some red arrows along this position. Maybe a PTZ-89 with a 2600 meter range. Do you even know that you're a tank destroyer? That you're not supposed to have such a range? Or maybe you are. Okay, this thing's going to take HE damage from the mortars, which it generally doesn't give a fuck about. It really does get annoyed by those AGGMs, but it doesn't actually go looking for whatever might be targeting it. Alright, time to move up to this town. Oh, snap. This tank does not have such a sense of humor. That's just annoying. If only I had a recon helicopter. Maybe I should have deployed that group after all. Veselek? Yeah, move away. Prefer you guys alive. Did we already destroy something here? Yeah, at least one. Boom. Two more. A 14 and a 35. I wonder what that was. You guys have medium optics. It's a start. Veselek. This whole area just parked up with ATGM units. Drop off. We're gonna have to move things up a little. So my commandos, or command mortars anyway, are taking a bit too much fire. Cluster bombs are coming in, and he's down. Before the clusters even hit. Looks like the long we might have fired off some stuff. What's that? Another BMP. Hold off. Oh, shit. Origin. Somewhere here. Ow, ow, ow. Engage. There are the PT-90s. Splash 1. Splash 2. 3. Those were pretty much their reserve tanks. Not much else. That wiped out a 35 point, I think, mortar. That must be infantry. Keep moving. These guys, despite everything, still survived. Let's park one of those ATGM planes overhead. You guys back here, back there. Move, move. Here come those super TDs. 2600 meter range. It's criminal, that is. Provided they can do some off-roading, which they can. They can do 60 off-road. Those things are no joke. Well, you could argue they're a bit of a joke at this range. Fuck, I'm seeing all of the enemy infantry come in all of a sudden. Everything that moves, fire at it. Everything that moves after you fired at it, fire again. You need to do a bit more damage. Preferably while the infantry is still inside. Lost a couple of good units of infantry there. Lost a red arrow. At this point I'm getting a bit careless. Get in. Good kill. Red arrow. What's that? BMP. Yeah, I would appreciate it if you didn't do that. How much HE do they have? Only 3? Okay. They seem to be focused in an anti-tank role. I mean, yes, they're tank destroyers, but if you have a gun that does 2600 meter range, I would expect you to have a bit more than 3 HE. Yeah, they're firing kinetics, so it doesn't really matter that much. Couple transports moving through. There you are. You're the one that I need to kill. Or rather, scare off. For a sustained period of time. Fall back. Whack 1. Shit, lost line of sight. Move up. That's not it. Time over target, 110 seconds. Good. So we can find that command tank and snipe it. Uh-oh. There you were. Come on. I know you're a big guy, but doesn't mean I can't find you. He's doing his best to stay hidden, though. There. He's about to take out my spotter. Come on, Snowy Owl. Now would be a good time to come around and do some damage. How much of stealth value does that thing have? Do I have any infantry that have any decent optics on them? Because I'm starting to really go through the amount of command vehicles that or recon units that I have. That's another good kill. Bunch of infantry. Nothing really that the long Louis shouldn't be able to handle. Being elite. Ha! There you were. Where are you going? It lobbed a missile at it. Missed 2. But at least got some damage in. Guess we're gonna have to try and keep this thing spotted with infantry and then drop some cluster munitions on top. Once you're in the building, I want these guys falling back. All those PTZs to charge for that command tank. And these to drop. Which probably doesn't have time to. Drop there. Drop here. I'm not sure if that's enough. And if my lead is good enough. And damage-ish. Ah, he's still alive. No, he's not. Okay. Ah, there we go. Guess they figured out they had no command units left. Yep, they retreated. They have 1 command unit. At least the tanks are dead and the rifles are dead, so GG for them. They will think twice, blah blah, good. Okay, well this is where I'm going to end it this episode. I think next episode is not going to be the end of it just yet, because I still need to maneuver quite a few of these tanks towards the front lines, and it's going to take time. Maybe I'll get it done next episode, we'll see. For now, thank you for watching, hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you soon for the next one.